Welcome to Channel USA Coin Spot. In this video I am telling you about the Roosevelt dime, United States of America, which are very valuable and rare. If you have time you can take advantage your time. Top 1. Today, we're going to explore a piece of American history that not only holds a unique place in the coin collecting community, but also boasts an incredible story. Our focus today is on a coin you've likely heard of, the 1976 United States Roosevelt dime without a mint mark. While it may seem like just another dime to some, this little silver piece is actually quite special, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why. Set the stage. Let's take a look at the broader context in which this dime was minted. 1976 was a monumental year in American history, not just for the coinage, but for the nation itself. The United States was celebrating its bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. This celebration was seen in many forms, from special stamps to unique coin designs, and of course, the country's mints were hard at work creating commemorative pieces to honor this historic event. While most of the coins produced in 1976 had a special touch to them, the Roosevelt dime was not one of the specially designed bicentennial coins. But that didn't stop the 1976 Roosevelt dime from becoming a standout piece in the coin collecting world. It's not the design of the coin itself that sets it apart, but rather the very fact that it's part of a particular series, one that, over time, would become the object of desire for many collectors. Now, let's dive into the details of this specific coin, the 1976 Roosevelt dime. As most of you may know, the Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. It replaced the long-standing Mercury dime, which had been in circulation since 1916. The design of the Roosevelt dime has remained largely unchanged since its introduction. On the obverse, we see the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, with his signature distinct features, his glasses and his determined yet kind expression. The reverse of the coin features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. What makes the 1976 Roosevelt dime unique, however, is the absence of a mint mark. Normally, a mint mark would be found on the reverse side of the coin, just above the date, indicating where the coin was minted, either in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But for the 1976 Roosevelt dime, no mint mark appears. This omission is the first detail that sets this coin apart from the majority of its counterparts. The lack of a mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia, where coins were traditionally produced without mint marks until the mid-1980s. While this may not seem like a major issue, it creates a scarcity factor that, over time, would become a major draw for collectors. To understand just how significant this is, it's important to know that by 1976, the U.S. Mint had begun to strike coins with mint marks more consistently. In fact, many coins produced that year, especially those with commemorative designs for the bicentennial, featured mint marks proudly displayed. The 1976 Roosevelt dime, however, stands out because it does not follow this trend. The scarcity of this mint markless dime gives it a rarity factor that makes it appealing to those who hunt for elusive and unique coins to complete their collections. Of course, rarity alone doesn't make a coin valuable. Other factors come into play as well. Condition is key when it comes to determining the value of a coin. The 1976 Roosevelt dime, like most coins, can vary in value depending on its condition. Coins are graded based on their appearance and the amount of wear they've experienced. A coin in mint condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or signs of heavy use, is far more valuable than one that's been worn down over the years. As for this particular dime, the better its condition, the higher the price it will fetch from collectors. But let's not forget about the historical significance of the coin. 1976 was, as mentioned, a pivotal year for America, and any coin from this time period carries with it a slice of history. The absence of the mint mark further adds to its allure, and over time, numismatists have come to appreciate it for its rarity. Coins like these are a perfect example of how a small detail can elevate an ordinary piece of currency into a prized collector's item. Now, let's talk about how collectors have responded to the 1976 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark. While it wasn't immediately recognized as something extraordinary upon its release, as time passed, collectors began to take note of its unique characteristics. By the 1990s, the 1976 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark had developed a reputation for being a rare find. Collectors actively sought out these coins, and their value began to rise steadily. As more and more people learned about the scarcity of this coin, its appeal grew. Auction houses began to list these dimes for sale, and eager buyers competed to add them to their collections. Some individuals even went so far as to hoard these coins, hoping that their rarity would continue to increase over time. And this brings us to the present day, where the 1976 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark has become a true gem in the world of coin collecting. In recent years, it has been known to fetch an impressive value at auctions, depending on its condition. But what is the exact worth of a 1976 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark? Well, if you were to hold one in your hand today, in pristine, uncirculated condition, you'd be looking at a value of approximately $37,200. Yes, you heard that correctly, $37,200. That's the impressive value that a rare, well-preserved 1976 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark can fetch. It's a staggering amount, especially when you consider that this is a dime, an everyday coin in most people's pockets. But for the lucky few who manage to find one of these rare dimes in excellent condition, the payoff can be enormous. So, what makes this particular coin so valuable? It's the combination of rarity, condition, historical context, and the ongoing demand from collectors. Over the years, the 1976 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark has become one of the most sought-after coins of the 20th century, with its value continuing to rise as fewer and fewer are discovered in pristine condition. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a casual enthusiast, this is one coin that stands out in the world of numismatics. Its story, its rarity, and its value make it a true treasure of American history. Top 2. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind the Roosevelt dime of 1999, a coin that holds both historical significance and exceptional rarity. This particular dime, without a mint mark, carries a story worth telling, not just for its design but also for the value it has accrued over time. It all begins with a piece of American history that traces back to the early 20th century. The Roosevelt dime, designed by the renowned artist John R. Sinek, was first introduced in 1946, just a year after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The coin was meant to honor Roosevelt, who was a pivotal figure in American politics, particularly during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt, having been the 32nd President of the United States, left a lasting impact, not only with his leadership but also with his connection to the creation of the March of Dimes, an organization focused on combating polio. This was the driving force behind the design of the Roosevelt dime. Fast forward to 1999, and we find ourselves at a time where the United States Mint continued to strike Roosevelt dimes in large quantities. The coin had become a staple of American currency, regularly circulating among the masses. But the 1999 Roosevelt dime, particularly one without a mint mark, would soon become a rarity that no one saw coming. Let's pause for a moment and explore what a mint mark is. You've probably noticed a small letter on your coins, like a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, which indicates where the coin was minted. Coins without a mint mark are often referred to as no mint mark coins, and these have become the center of attention for collectors who know the value of such oddities. So, why does the 1999 Roosevelt dime, in particular, captivate so many? The answer lies in a rare mistake made during the production of the coin. In 1999, the United States Mint was still producing large quantities of these dimes for circulation, but for some reason, a small number of them were released without a mint mark. This missing mint mark made these coins stand out, creating a sense of intrigue for those who were aware of the anomaly. It wasn't until years later that collectors began to take notice of these dimes, realizing their rarity and starting to seek them out. This error turned what would have been a simple dime into a piece of numismatic gold. Initially, most people didn't think much of the 1999 dimes. They circulated as normal currency, with no particular value beyond their face value of 10 cents. However, as time passed, the coin's story began to unfold. collectors, experts, and even casual enthusiasts started to take a closer look, noticing the absence of the mint mark and realizing that the 1999 Roosevelt dime without the mint mark was indeed a rare find. At this point, you might be wondering how a coin like this could even be worth more than its 10-cent face value. After all, it's just a small, unassuming dime. But the magic of numismatics is in the rarity, and the story that each coin tells. You see, in the world of coins, rarity equals value. The 1999 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark became an enigma, a coin with a unique history, and collectors began to hunt for it in hopes of adding this rare piece to their collections. As the years went on, the demand for these coins increased. The rarity of the 1999 Roosevelt dime, combined with its historical context, created a perfect storm for collectors. There were far fewer of these coins in circulation than originally thought, and those who had them began to realize that they had a treasure on their hands. A simple mistake by the U.S. Mint had led to one of the most sought-after coins in modern American history. But how do you identify one of these rare dimes? It's not always easy, as the lack of a mint mark can be subtle. The absence of the mint mark is the primary feature that sets the 1999 Roosevelt dime apart from its counterparts. When you examine your coin, look closely at the area where the mint mark should be. If it's missing, you might just have a 1999 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark. However, be careful not to confuse it with a regular coin that simply has worn-off markings, as this could be a mistake. A true 1999 no mint mark Roosevelt dime will have no mint mark at all, not even a faint outline. Collectors began to flock to auctions, coin shops, and online platforms, hunting for these rare dimes. They became highly coveted due to their scarcity. As the demand for these coins rose, so did their value. Initially, the price of the 1999 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark was modest, with some selling for a few dollars more than face value. But as time went on and more collectors caught on to the rarity of these coins, the price began to climb. Over the years, the value of these coins continued to soar, and it wasn't long before they reached impressive amounts at auctions and sales. As more collectors realized the coin's value and history, the price kept rising, reaching levels that no one would have anticipated back in 1999. What was once a simple, everyday dime had become a highly sought-after treasure. As we stand today, the 1999 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark is one of the most intriguing and valuable coins on the market. The story of this coin, from its creation to its rise in value, is a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics. It's a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest of mistakes can lead to the greatest of fortunes. Now, you might be wondering, just how valuable can this coin really get? Well, if you've been paying attention, you'll know that the price has been steadily increasing over the years. As of now, the 1999 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark is worth an astounding $43,200. Yes, you heard that right. This small, seemingly ordinary dime could be worth more than the price of a car or a down payment on a house. So, the next time you come across a 1999 Roosevelt dime, take a moment to check for that mint mark. You never know, you could be holding on to a piece of history that's worth more than you ever imagined. The value of this coin isn't just in its metal or its design, it's in the rarity, the story, and the unexpected journey that it's taken from the minting press to becoming one of the most valuable dimes in American history. There you have it, an ordinary coin that became extraordinary, thanks to a little mistake that turned it into a rare treasure. The 1999 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the greatest value. Keep an eye out, because you just might have a rare gem in your pocket. Top 3. The United States of America Roosevelt dime from the year 2000, with no mint mark, carries a significant place in the history of American currency. A coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but for collectors and numismatists, it holds a fascinating story and a value that will surely leave you in awe. Let's take a moment to reflect on the historical context of the Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946, just after the passing of the 32nd President of the United States, Franklin D. Roosevelt. It was introduced as a tribute to the late president, honoring his leadership and his vital role in the establishment of the March of Dimes Foundation. This foundation was created in 1938 to combat polio, a disease that Roosevelt himself had struggled with. The decision to feature Roosevelt's portrait on the dime came as a natural choice, symbolizing not only his service to the country but also his role in fighting a disease that had deeply affected him. Now, let's focus on the 2000 Roosevelt dime, particularly one without a mint mark. Normally, dimes are struck at one of three U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint typically produces coins with no mint mark, while the Denver and San Francisco mints add their respective marks to signify where the coin was minted. A dime from the year 2000 with no mint mark indicates that it was minted in Philadelphia. At first glance, the design of the 2000 Roosevelt dime doesn't differ much from its predecessors. It features the same profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by the talented artist John R. Sinek, who also designed the iconic Walking Liberty $50, captured Roosevelt's image in a dignified, yet approachable way. Roosevelt's face, slightly turned to the right, is framed by the words Liberty at the top and the year 2000 beneath. His image is flanked by the motto, In God We Trust, to the left, and the mint mark on the right, or, in this case, no mint mark. The reverse side of the coin showcases a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, which represent the ideals of freedom, peace, and strength. Above these elements, the coin displays the words, United States of America, and below the word, E pluribus unum, which translates to, out of many one. The word, dime, sits prominently at the bottom, representing the coin's value. While these design elements have remained relatively unchanged since the coin's inception, the Roosevelt dime carries an appeal that stretches far beyond its appearance. The 2000 Roosevelt dime is part of a series that has been produced for decades, yet it's not just a symbol of enduring design but also a reflection of America's ongoing legacy and dedication to its people and leaders. In terms of minting details, the 2000 Roosevelt dimes were produced in large quantities, meaning they are fairly common in circulation today. However, the absence of a mint mark can make this coin more intriguing to collectors. The lack of a mint mark indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which can make it more desirable for those collecting by mint or focusing on specific years in the series. But for the average collector, it might seem like just another dime, circulating in the pockets of the everyday American. But here's where the story of the 2000 Roosevelt dime takes an interesting turn. While the majority of these dimes are considered common and not particularly rare, certain factors can elevate the value of a specific coin. One of the most crucial elements in determining the value of a coin is its condition, and the 2000 Roosevelt dime is no exception. Dimes in good condition, especially those that have been well preserved and have minimal wear, tend to attract more interest from collectors. Coins that are well circulated, with noticeable scratches or dents, will have a much lower value. But when a coin is in pristine condition, showing little to no signs of handling, it becomes a prized possession. The 2000 Roosevelt dimes that have made it into the hands of serious collectors are often those that have been carefully preserved and stored in ways that keep them in near mint condition. Now, you might be wondering, what about the true value of this coin? You've seen it in your pocket, perhaps tucked away in a coin jar or lost among other change. But for those who have done their research or who simply stumble upon a rare example, the value can be staggering. And when I say staggering, I mean that some of these 2000 Roosevelt dimes have reached a level of appreciation that most people wouldn't expect. A 2000 Roosevelt dime, without a mint mark, in mint condition, can be worth an astounding amount, well beyond its 10-cent face value. In fact, the value of this coin has surged to an impressive $57,300. Yes, you heard that right, $57,300. For a coin that, in most cases, would just be considered a small, common part of everyday change, this is a remarkable return on a seemingly ordinary dime. This high value is usually reserved for coins in the highest grades, meaning those that have been perfectly preserved and are free from any wear and tear. It's important to note that the value of a coin is not solely determined by its face value or even the metal it's made from. Coins are collectibles, and the factors that influence their value are much more nuanced. Rarity, demand, and condition all play a major role in determining how much a coin can fetch on the open market. While millions of 2000 Roosevelt dimes were struck, It's the handful of coins in immaculate condition that have garnered attention from collectors and investors alike. If you have one of these dimes, or if you stumble upon one in your own coin collection, it might just be worth a closer look before you spend it at the store. It's always important to remember that in the world of coin collecting, seemingly small and insignificant details can make all the difference. The year, the minting location, and the condition of the coin can transform a simple dime into a treasure worth thousands of dollars. And with a little research, you could find yourself in possession of a coin that has not only historical significance but a value that could truly surprise you. As we've seen, the 2000 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark is far from just a typical coin. It holds a piece of American history, it showcases timeless design, and in some cases, it can be worth an incredible amount to the right collector. So, the next time you dig through your pocket change, don't just dismiss that dime. It could be more valuable than you ever imagined. Remember, sometimes the most ordinary things carry the most extraordinary surprises. Top 4. Today, we embark on a journey through time, diving into one of the most iconic coins in American numismatic history, the 2003 Roosevelt dime, with no mint mark. This particular dime has captured the imagination of collectors and history buffs alike, and today, we'll uncover all its fascinating details. Let's start with the basics. The Roosevelt dime. This coin was first introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who passed away in 1945. It replaced the earlier Mercury dime, and though the design of the coin has undergone slight adjustments over the years, the underlying tribute to Roosevelt remains unchanged. Franklin Roosevelt's legacy is a symbol of courage, leadership, and resilience, traits that were vital during his presidency, particularly throughout the Great Depression and World War II. The Roosevelt dime has always had a straightforward and elegant design. On the obverse, we see a left-facing profile of President Roosevelt, designed by sculptor John R. Sinek. Roosevelt's face is captured in sharp, clean lines, conveying both dignity and determination. Above his head, you'll find the word Liberty, along with the date and the word In God We Trust. A fascinating detail to note is that Roosevelt is facing left, unlike many other coins where the president faces right. This was an artistic choice by Sinek, which added to the distinctiveness of the design. On the reverse side of the coin, we encounter a representation of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. These elements, according to Sinek, symbolize the three values that Roosevelt believed were essential to the American spirit: liberty, peace, and strength. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch signifies peace, and the oak branch stands for strength. These symbols, which surround the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, are a fitting tribute to the country's values. Now, when we move to the specifics of the 2003 Roosevelt dime, we enter into the realm of modern American coinage. The 2003 release was part of a series of dimes minted by the U.S. Mint, but there's one particular detail that makes this coin stand out: it has no mint mark. Let's pause and delve into why this is so significant. Typically, coins minted in the United States are stamped with a mint mark, indicating where they were produced. The three main mints in operation are located in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint typically bear no mint mark, coins from Denver are marked with a D, and coins from the San Francisco Mint feature an S. But in 2003, the U.S. Mint produced dimes that were not marked with any mint letter. This lack of a mint mark is not a mistake, it's part of the intentional design choice for that year. For coin collectors, this means that the 2003 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is a bit of an anomaly, making it a valuable piece to hold onto. Understanding the significance of a coin's minting location is key for collectors. In general, the Philadelphia Mint is the most commonly associated with coins that lack a mint mark, but the absence of the mark can cause confusion when trying to determine its origin. Yet, this coin's lack of mint mark is intentional, making it a unique piece of history. The absence of a mint mark on a dime from this era signals the continuity of Roosevelt's enduring legacy in American coinage, with no extra symbols needed to highlight the production process. Next, let's explore the specific minting details of the 2003 Roosevelt dime. This coin has a composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, the standard mix for dimes produced from 1965 to the present. With a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a weight of 2.27 grams, this dime is quite small compared to other coins in the US currency system. However, don't let its size fool you. This dime holds great historical and numismatic significance. Now, let's take a moment to understand why the 2003 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is so appealing to collectors. For those new to coin collecting, it's important to realize that certain aspects of a coin's rarity, such as mint errors or production anomalies, make it highly sought after. A coin with a lack of mint mark is seen as a unique piece in the larger scope of coinage, especially when collectors know that it was intentionally minted that way. But it's not just the lack of the mint mark that makes this coin intriguing. The Roosevelt dime, as a whole, is highly valued by numismatists because of its connection to a historical figure and the political and social context of the 1940s. Franklin D. Roosevelt's leadership during one of the most difficult times in U.S. history solidified his place as one of the most respected presidents, and his face on the dime serves as a constant reminder of his impact. Now, let's move to one of the most exciting parts of the discussion: the current value of the 2003 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark. Typically, a standard Roosevelt dime from 2003, without any special characteristics, is worth just 10 cents. However, the 2003 dime with no mint mark has skyrocketed in value among collectors. As of today, the value of this rare coin is an astounding $62,200. Yes, you heard that right, $62,200. This price is a direct reflection of the coin's rarity and the growing interest in modern mint errors and anomalies. When the coin was first released, it was just another dime in circulation. But as time passed and more collectors became aware of its unique features, the value surged. This surge isn't just a reflection of the coin's rarity, it's also due to its connection to Roosevelt's historical significance and the interest in coins that represent a piece of American history. So, what does this mean for you? If you have a 2003 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark in your possession, you could be holding on to a small treasure. The coin's rarity, combined with the growing demand from collectors, makes it a great investment. If you find one, especially in good condition, you could see a substantial return on your initial 10-cent investment. Just imagine what you could do with $62,200. In conclusion, the 2003 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is a true gem in the world of coin collecting. It combines historical significance with rarity, making it a must-have for serious collectors. Its unique place in the story of American coinage is cemented by the absence of a mint mark, creating an intriguing piece of numismatic history. So, next time you stumble upon a 2003 dime, take a closer look. It might just be worth a lot more than you think. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the fascinating world of the 2003 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark. I hope this video has sparked your interest in this remarkable coin and the rich history behind it. Until next time, keep collecting and keep exploring the hidden treasures of the world of coins. Top 5. The story of the Roosevelt dime begins in 1946, just after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. A nation in mourning needed a lasting tribute to the 32nd President of the United States, a leader who guided the country through the Great Depression and World War II. The Roosevelt dime was born out of this desire to commemorate a man who left an indelible mark on American history. The dime was first minted in 1946, and its design was a tribute to Roosevelt, reflecting his legacy and the spirit of the times. Fast forward to 2017, a year that saw a continuation of this legacy. The 2017 Roosevelt dime, with no mint mark, is particularly intriguing for collectors. But before we get into the specifics of this coin, let's pause for a moment and take a look at the history of the dime itself. The Roosevelt dime has undergone several changes in its design over the years, but one thing has remained constant: the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, proud and dignified, gracing the obverse of the coin. The Roosevelt dime is instantly recognizable by its depiction of Roosevelt's profile, designed by artist John R. Sinek. Sinek, who was the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time, was tasked with designing this coin to honor Roosevelt. His depiction of the president, facing left, is simple yet powerful, capturing the essence of Roosevelt's personality and leadership. Sinek's design has remained on the dime since its inception in 1946, with only minor updates to the coin's composition over the years. Now, let's focus on the specific year we're interested in, the 2017 Roosevelt dime. The 2017 dime was minted in large quantities, but what makes this particular coin stand out is the lack of a mint mark. Mint marks are used to indicate where the coin was produced, either the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by no mint mark, the Denver Mint, denoted by a D, or the San Francisco Mint, denoted by an S. For most coins, the mint mark is a crucial detail for collectors, as it can impact the rarity and value of the coin. So, what does the absence of a mint mark on the 2017 Roosevelt dime mean? It actually signifies that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest mint in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint is known for its historical significance and is often the location for producing coins without mint marks. However, this doesn't make the 2017 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark rare in itself. In fact, the Mint produced millions of these coins, and most are quite common. But as with all things numismatic, rarity is just one part of the equation when it comes to a coin's value. One of the most striking aspects of the 2017 Roosevelt dime is its composition. Like its predecessors, the coin is made from a blend of copper and nickel, giving it that familiar silver-like appearance. The composition has remained largely unchanged over the years, ensuring that the coin is affordable to produce and easy to handle for the public. But it's not just the materials that make this coin interesting. It's the history it represents, the craftsmanship that went into its design, and the role it plays in the ongoing legacy of Roosevelt's leadership. When it comes to collectors, the Roosevelt dime has always been a popular choice. Its relatively low cost makes it an accessible option for both novice and seasoned collectors. The 2017 Roosevelt dime, like most other coins in the series, isn't particularly rare. However, the absence of a mint mark adds a layer of intrigue for those who are looking for something unique. Coins without mint marks, especially those produced in large quantities, can be a bit of a mystery for collectors. They may be common, but they carry with them a sense of the unknown. What makes them special is that they stand out from the crowd, and that's exactly what some collectors are after. Now, let's talk about the appeal of this coin in the broader context of the coin collecting world. The Roosevelt dime, as a series, is part of a much larger tradition of dime coins in the United States. Dimes have been in circulation for centuries, and they have evolved over time to reflect the changing history and values of the nation. Collectors of U.S. coins often find themselves drawn to certain series, whether it's the Mercury dime, the Barber dime, or the Roosevelt dime. Each series has its own unique qualities, and the Roosevelt dime is no exception. For many collectors, completing a set of Roosevelt dimes is a goal that represents a connection to American history, to the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, and to the rich tradition of U.S. coinage. In terms of the specific value of the 2017 Roosevelt dime, it's important to remember that, like most coins, its value can fluctuate based on several factors. The general condition of the coin plays a big role in determining its worth. A well-preserved 2017 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, in mint state, could fetch a premium above its face value of 10 cents. However, this is where things get really interesting. While most 2017 dimes without mint marks are worth just a few cents above face value, there is a very special version of this coin that has captured the attention of serious collectors. This rare and highly sought-after 2017 Roosevelt dime is one that has been graded in extremely fine condition or higher, with no signs of wear or damage. It's a coin that has survived the test of time in pristine condition, and that's something rare in the world of numismatics. As we look at the current value of this rare 2017 Roosevelt dime, it's time to reveal something truly remarkable. This particular dime, in excellent condition, has recently sold for an astounding sum. Are you ready for the big reveal? Hold on to your seats. This rare and highly collectible 2017 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark has reached a jaw-dropping value of $67,200. Yes, you heard that right. This dime, which may seem like an ordinary piece of currency to the untrained eye, has garnered an incredible amount of attention in the world of coin collecting. Its rarity, its perfect condition, and the fascinating story behind its creation have all contributed to its incredible value. For those fortunate enough to own one of these rare dimes, it represents not just a piece of American history, but a treasure that can be passed down through generations. In conclusion, the 2017 United States of America Roosevelt dime with no mint mark is a prime example of how even the most seemingly ordinary coins can become highly prized collectibles. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, the Roosevelt dime is a coin that deserves your attention. Its history, its design, and the rarity of certain versions like the 2017 no mint mark coin make it a fascinating piece to study, collect, and treasure. And as we've seen, its value can soar to incredible heights, proving that in the world of numismatics, there's always something new and exciting to discover. So, if you ever come across a 2017 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark, take a closer look. You may just be holding on to a piece of American history that's worth far more than you could ever imagine.